The point being that the documents that people file, this, there again, this is not legal advice, this is education, this is my opinion from studying this. If you go down and file a substitution of trustee and all that crap, what else? Notice of cancel of sale, lien shit. That all, well, let me exclude the lien shit, because liens are a whole funky different concept in law. But let's talk about substitution of trustee or change of power of attorney or any of this fraudulent stuff. What's that?
Substitution of beneficiary as well.
Which, same thing as trustee. Okay, so when you go and file that, why is that document fraudulent? Okay, the reason that stuff's fraudulent is because you supposedly don't have full possession of the property. In other words, if it's your property, you can file anything you want. You can change a trustee, you can notice them that there is no sale, you can change beneficiary, you can do whatever you want. It's your property. You can file just about anything you want on it. Do we all understand that?
Yes. Yes.
So, it being fraudulent is completely incumbent on the documents filed by the bank. Because the bank filed a bunch of documents, like a notice of trustee's sale, notice of assignment, substitutions, blah, blah, blah. They filed these documents. So, if those documents are correct and you filed stuff that counters that, then yours is fraudulent. Do you understand that? Therefore, what would be the best way to stop yours from being considered fraudulent?
Undo.
Recant. Redact it.
Okay, no, we haven't gone there. I'm asking you to listen to me and turn off the bullshit. Okay, the squirrel in the cage, step on it.
File a rod.
No, listen to what I'm saying, not what I've talked about before. This is different. If all the shit that you filed is only fraudulent or considered fraudulent in law because of what the bank has filed, what would be the best way to stop your shit from being considered fraudulent?
You show that the bank stuff is fraudulent.
Yes. Okay. And if you show that the bank stuff is fraudulent, not only will you win your house back or stop them from stealing it, but you also prove prima facie that your shit isn't fraudulent. Do you understand that?
Right.
Yes.
So that's the whole court case. The problem is getting to that point means going through the whole court case, and you might wind up being indicted in the middle of it. Do you understand that?
Right.
Which would make it much harder to fight your court case from a jail cell. Which is why I think they want to indict these people. So, there's what's called erratas, and there's what's called recantment. Now, somebody a little while ago did this, and he hasn't had any problem. It was a few months ago, and he had to go in on the following Monday, so we only had a few days to get ready for it. And he did an errata based on recantment. In other words, an errata is just like what it sounds. It's an errata. I made an error. Let me fix it. Now, title companies do that all the time. You've probably seen it and just blew it off, where they filed something incorrectly, so they put in an errata to correct it. Okay? Yes?
And I looked up corrections by title companies one day, and it's so simple. It's just like, oh, we're filing a correction of the previous deed to correct the errors of the deed filed on X, Y, Z day, and that's all it's doing. It's not the deed, it's just a correction.
Yes.
It's really simple.
An errata is basically a correction. Yes. I'm correcting what I filed before, I just filed wrong. Okay? In his case, he filed a bunch of documents, and he said, oh, this was written up, it wasn't supposed to be filed. The filing itself was an error. It was not supposed to be filed. We filed this accidentally. Now they're going to have a hard time fighting that. So, because he did it before the indictment. They were talking about doing the indictment, but he did it before and he got it filed. And that was it. He went in there on the Monday and they just said, oh, never mind. Because they probably saw somehow that he had said, oh, I filed this by accident, and then goes in there and goes to have a talk with him. Okay, accidents happen. There's no willful intent. The recantment is the statement that I didn't mean any harm. I was doing this looking at something, and when I filed this other stuff, I accidentally filed this. Or I thought this was true. I've discovered it's not true, so I withdraw that argument because I know now that it's incorrect. That's truly a recantment, the other aspect being an errata. Do we all understand that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you go before you get an indictment of any kind, and you were to file something that says, oops, I was filing stuff, this got put in with it, it accidentally got filed, this wasn't supposed to be in there, please remove this or notify the proper parties. That would be basically an errata. But if you know that one's not going to fly and you say, hey, I filed this because at the time I thought it was correct, I have recently discovered it is completely incorrect, so I therefore want to correct the record, that would be a recantment. Lawyers fucking hate recantments. You go to almost any lawyer, any criminal, civil attorney in the United States, they're going to tell you, well, there's really no recantment in American law anymore. Oh yeah? When did it disappear? It's never disappeared. Yes.
Go ahead and finish. I have a question.
Well, recantments are still, there's nothing in the law that said we're not going to accept recantments anymore. It's still in there. So, but lawyers don't want you to use it because then you wouldn't need to use a lawyer. Yeah.
This person wanted to know if, when she does a recantment or an errata, should she list the person that she hired and believed their nonsense and paid them for this in the document?
There's what's in American law we know as the reliance defense. Okay, so we're talking about erratas, we're talking about recantments. Now we're going to talk about the reliance defense. Now, a lot of people have misused this over the years. It's a very simple concept. In most criminal acts, there is the requirement of the element of willful intent. Okay, let me give you a good example. You back out of your driveway and you run over the neighbor's dog. Now, if the dog went to sleep under your car, was there any willful intent?
No.
Did you run over the dog?
Yeah.
Is it really your fault at all?
No.
Are you required by law to look under your car before you drive away?
No.
Yes, you are.
Not yet.
Yes, you fucking are. Absolutely, you friggin' are. You do not move a vehicle in the United States of America without verifying the full perimeter. You've seen me do it. Remember the last time at Costco and you wanted to drive forward and, you know, I worked for the phone company. Phone company, if you run into anything and you haven't done your perimeter, that's it. You can lose your job. So I just have this habit, plus because of my past and the people I'm having an issue with it, I have a tendency to kind of take a good look around my vehicle before I leave.
I think you were just checking for explosives.
Yes, I do that too. But looking for explosives, I may stumble upon a dog. But yes, you do. You are required to verify that that vehicle is safe to be moved every time you get into it. So, now is that going to fly in court? Probably not. If your neighbor's dog went to sleep under your car and you backed up and you killed their dog, you're probably not going to be held liable at all. Not saying you won't, but it would be a hard one for I don't think they'd move forward on it. Except for in Maricopa County. Now, if you walk out to your car and you're drunk, and you jump in your car, floor it, speed out, backwards down the street, and the dog's in the middle of the street, are you going to be held accountable for killing that dog?
Yes.
But you're drunk. Can you have willful intent when you're drunk?
Good question. Good question.
Very good question. Did you purposely get drunk?
Yes.
Okay.
Was it
The
an
willful
accident?
intent began before. Yes.
Okay, she said, thank you. Will he tell us where to find the docs to file. Did we post a Recata or a errata somewhere on the net?
You can look up any kind of errata. An errata is not a document. An errata is some concept in law. It's really just this simple. You just explain what happened. But let me get to the rest of the point, because I'm trying to so that she can do her own document. So, all of that aside, your buddy tells you, here's $20, go move the car. Now, the dogs sleep under the car, you back up. Is your buddy going to be held accountable? Because he's worked for hire, you now are his employee, can he be held accountable?
Yes.
No, because there's no, if the dog went to sleep under the car, they're not going. Could they because you didn't check your car? Yeah, well, they know. But you pay your buddy to do the walk around the car and look under the car. And you get in the car and you drive over the dog and kill the dog. Can you be held accountable?
No.
No. Can your buddy?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Does your buddy have to be a lawyer, or have to be working for the Department of Transportation, or have to be a flag bearer for a construction company that does road work to have taken on the responsibility, having been paid to check your vehicle for safety? Nowhere in the law is that required. So, and what I'm getting, and I know I'm getting long-winded, but you've got to understand this before you go writing it up. Willful intent means that the person that you hire to do this patriot bullshit to destroy your life, they got money. Do they have to be a lawyer? In most cases, they would have to be a lawyer to even discuss it with you. But to do this bullshit, yeah. So now they put themselves off as a lawyer, put themselves off as knowledgeable, and you relied on them. So did you have any willful intent to do anything wrong, or did you spend your own money to discover the correct information, do everything right, and you got conned? Isn't that what happened?
Yeah. Right.
So who does that lie? Who does that fall onto?
The individual who conned you.
The con. So yes, I would list them. I would lie it. I would say how much. We had this talk about you giving somebody some money and blah 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 a long time ago, because I'm like, always a check. Okay, so this lady in California, she paid somebody. I would put prima facie evidence, who she paid, when she paid him, how much she paid him, and to do what. And I would put that in the errata, in the recantment part of the errata, saying, I paid good money to find out, discover the law, and do everything right. And then I found out this person lied to me. So I hereby withdraw all this stuff and inform the state that this person lied to me. Go talk to them.
And then what does she do with the document? She files it at the county recorder?
I would record them.
Yeah, recorded it.
I would record them. You've got to record the errata for it to be any
Then
good.
does she maybe send a copy of it to the Attorney General or something? Or?
I wouldn't screw with it.
Reference the original document.
No.
No, not unless it's ever
Yeah,
brought
you have
up.
to reference the original document, but I wouldn't screw with it.
Not unless it's brought up.
Yeah, you're not asking for trouble, you're preventing trouble. You know, you don't build a fence around your house and then go tell all the ghetto kids that, you know, you bought a new TV. Just build the fence, keep the door locked. Yes.
John, for us here in Maricopa, and we can't record anything, so just record it in Pima and reference the recording.
Sure.
Pinell.
For now.
Yeah,
For now.
Yeah.
Or Pima, anywhere else. Yeah, and just reference the recording. But yes, she has to reference the document, but no, just record it. Because then if they ever come back, if they ever come after her, she can go, I corrected this. I let you guys know. They very rarely check. Now in my case, they went through and checked all of the county recorders in the state to see anything's ever been recorded under my name. And they had just a ton of documents, because I used to record a lot of stuff explaining what's going on with the government. They don't like it. It doesn't do much good other than piss them off. But that way, if they come after you, you've recorded, you've already told them all that here's the mistake. So in order for them to prosecute, they'd have to pull up what they're going to prosecute you for, and they'd have to give the court the errata.